down the field. Happy tossing dimes, cup $1 million deal. Fantasy football, better know it's real. Tune into the podcast, tell us how you feel. We be going live, best believe we talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back, finally, to another episode of the Fantasy Football from Up North podcast. This is going to be our Week 10 waiver wire edition. And, of course, if you didn't notice, I'm sure you didn't notice because we probably have like 5 listeners, happy, but we haven't been. We've kind of been AWOL for a couple weeks here.
Yeah.
1 week we were actually, your wife, my wife, and a few of our friends went to Mexico for a week.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, last week after we got back, I was just lazy as fuck. So I really didn't want to do anything.
Jet lagged for a week. Even though it's only like a 6-hour flight.
Well, for you, that was the worst for us, man. Remember? So we
on the way
down
there for you guys, yeah.
We
on the
fly
way
down
back
there.
was bad too.
Yeah, we fly down there. We're an hour and a half sitting in Calgary on the tarmac to get de-iced. Get to Mexico. My luggage doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And then just wild times. And on the way back, we got to the airport early, like you guys did the day before. And then what was it? Oh, it was in Calgary. We went all the way. So we got off our first flight, walked to one end of the airport.
A giant airport.
So it's like A, B, C, D, right? That's kind of the gates. We walk all the way over to A. We get off at D, so walk all the way over to A. Sitting there, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. We figured out a different plan. There is a new plane here for you. It's on C, and it's an hour delayed." I'm like, "Holy man!"
Brutal.
But anyways, but whatever. People aren't here to listen to us talk about warm Mexico
for us.
Warm Mexico. Since it's now we got. Fuck, how many feet of snow, Happy? You would know this better than me since you shovel it.
Probably about 20 centimeters, I'd say, total.
Yeah, it's been nonstop. It sucks to drive, and I'm sure it sucks to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, but on
Pays
that
the
note,
bills, though. Pays the bills.
On that note, Happy, let's talk some waiver wire.
Yes, sir.
Well, the weeks for fantasy went well for you, as you shit kicked me in a couple leagues this week.
Yeah.
I got actually hammered. Riley whooped my ass in one. I didn't have a very good week at all. I figured I wouldn't though in most of my leagues because for some reason, I picked everybody that had a bye week 9.
Oh yeah.
I ran into bye trouble big time. So, but I'll be back week 10. I'll smash everybody. So that's all that really matters.
That's a bold statement.
But Abby, who's your top waiver wire ad this week?
Well, my number one guy right now is going to be Jeff Wilson Jr., my friend. RB, he got traded to the Dolphins from San Francisco when they brought in McCaffrey. And so he moves into Miami, and they ship out Edmonds, which also helps him. And he's only 51% owned in Yahoo leagues. But in his first carry, he led with 9 carries for 51 yards and a TD in his debut. And I think going forward, we could see him take over that role. I mean, he was serviceable with a 1-2 punch with him and Mostert, obviously, but I think we'll see him have a good role in that backfield going forward. Yeah,
I agree. I was kind of curious to know what he was going to be doing, especially since he did just get there earlier on in the week. But it's going to be exactly the same way we kind of saw it in San Fran with these two, right? I mean, it's going to be a good 1-2 punch, like you said. They both saw 9 carries, and basically they pretty much ran the same number of routes all game. And the fact that Wilson was used in the passing game, which was big too.
3 catches.
So that's good. And the score.
They're going into Cleveland too, so it's a good matchup as well in week 10.
Yeah. So I mean, if anything, you're flexing. You're pretty much flexing Wilson every single week.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter who he's playing. He's going to be on the roster. And as far as I'm concerned, he should be at this late in the season. You're looking at you're going to be dumping a lot of money on him to get him.
Yeah, for sure. Injuries creeping up and buys still.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. So, a guy I want to talk about real quick is Chuba Hubbard if he's back for the Panthers. Yeah. He missed the last 2 games, and just watching Foreman last week, only played just over 40% of the snaps, but I think that's the fact that the game was so out of hand. Carolina just got shit kicked. But I do think when Chuba Hubbard does come back, I think there's going to be more of a timeshare between Foreman and himself. And yeah, I just think that Foreman, if the game's close, Foreman's going to be that one that's going to be more heavily favored and running more plays on. But I think if this game gets out of hand, I think you're going to see a little bit more of Chuba Hubbard. I think you're going to see Hubbard more in the passing game than anything.
Yeah, so. and when he did start, he saw in week 7, he saw a lot of the early down carries, and I think that he could be a flex play going forward. I would sit on him for a week and just see what kind of role he carves out with Foreman and without McCaffrey there. And then hopefully he stays healthy this week and you can throw him in your lineup next week.
Yeah, exactly. You got another guy?
I do. My boy, I'm going to jump on him this week. Mecole Hardman, I think it's time to pick this guy up. I think he's carved out the trust with his quarterback, and we've seen 6 of 9 targets for 79 yards and a TD in week 9, and he's scored in 3 games in a row, and his 9 targets were a season high, and he's had at least 4 looks in 4 straight games. The Chiefs, they've shown that they want to use him in creative ways all over the field, and we sort of knew that coming into the season. But I think that he'd be a good waiver wire add for your for depth this week.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to want any piece of this receiving game, especially I think the Chiefs have quite a nice schedule moving forward.
Yeah, Jacksonville this week. That's a good matchup for him too.
Exactly. So I mean, you're basically going to fire him out there, and he's heavily available in a lot of leagues. So I would agree with you. I'd go get him as well.
Booyah.
Receiver I'm going to talk about, who it's shocking that I'm going to talk about, is Rondale Moore of the Cardinals. I mean, this is back-to-back weeks that we've seen him produce. I don't think he's going to be able to, I don't know what it is with this Cardinals team. They've been so up and down, and it just blows my mind at how good they are, but they're just not doing anything with it. I don't know if it's Hopkins is unbelievable, but I mean, Rondale Moore, another 10 targets, I think it was on Sunday, and he basically had just double-digit fantasy points again. So when it comes into this week, I think he has a consistent role on this team, and you could pretty much fire him out as a flex play wide receiver 3 week to week.
Boom. I don't know what's wrong with Arizona right now. We saw it. I mean, I'd like to see Murray get out of the pocket and run a little bit more and create some space for his receivers, but he just doesn't seem to be able to hit any of them right now.
Oh, I agree. I don't know what's going on. I have him in quite a few leagues. I mean, he's producing because he's at least throwing a touchdown or 2 a game, but that's about it. So, give me one more guy out of your
Well, I going forward, I like a tight end. I mean, everybody's always looking for tight ends, and Isaiah Likely. I mean, Likely caught 6 of 7 targets for 77 yards and a TD in week 8, and he had a big role in week 9. Again, he got a touchdown with Mark Andrews injured, and I think that he's going to continue to have a role in this offense even when Andrews comes back, especially with Rashad Bateman out for the season. So, I mean, they're going to be looking for guys to make some grabs, and he's obviously got some trust in that offense with Lamar.
Yeah, I agree with you. Keep in mind they are on a bye next week, so he's not going to be available to you next week. But I think even when
I would put him on your bench if you can right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I do think Mark Andrews will be back. I mean, we've seen Andrews play through quite a few injuries. So, I mean, it's going to be a window of just over 24 days, I think I read on on Twitter today. That's going to be between when he got injured last and his recovery time. So I do see him coming back week 11, but I do think that likely does have value even with
for sure.
Even when Andrews is back.
Their 3 best pass catchers are likely Andrews and DuVernay right now.
Yeah, exactly. For me, there's another tight end we'll talk about is Cole Kmet. He's only, I think he's 75% available in most leagues, but he is starting to become a red zone target for Justin Fields. I mean, he's got 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Once again, Fields targeted him over 6 times last week, caught 5 of 41 and 2 scores. Kmet's just starting to step into his own now. This is kind of what we expected out of him last year. And I don't know, the way this Bears team is playing, I guess not Bears in general, but Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields is going to finish as like a top 8 quarterback by the end of the season. Like that performance he did yesterday was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
But now that they're starting to use him, they're giving him targets. They added Claypool at the trade deadline. I think Kmet's is going to continue to see, 5 to 6 targets a game and probably 2 or 3 times in the red zone. So if they keep moving the ball, they're going to be down that red zone quite a bit. I think Cole Kmet is a very nice add for you moving forward.
And they're taking the reins off Fields. They're letting him do a lot of things that we've seen out of him in college, and he's using his legs. And as long as he continues to do that, he's going to be that double threat, and he's going to be taking eyes off of his receivers, and hopefully, it benefits Kmet, especially because he's a tight end that was drafted high in a lot of your fantasy leagues.
Yeah, and another guy I'll touch on real quick, wide receiver is Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Panthers.
It's my turn, buddy.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead. I hope this is the guy.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Perfect.
One more guy I want to touch on is Kyron Williams. If you got room on your bench, I suggest you stash this guy. We haven't seen nothing out of the Rams running game. Darrell Henderson, he's uninspiring, and Cam Akers, he's been ineffective. Apparently doesn't want to play there. But when Williams, it's been said by the coach that when he comes back from his injury, he's going to have a big role in this offense, and I could see him taking over that role because we haven't seen a running back grasp that role in LA yet.
Yeah, that running game is just trash. I was happy to get rid of Henderson. I'm glad you gave me Henderson and Dynasty. I really appreciate that. But,
you're welcome.
But somebody's got to step up. And they said right off the bat, as soon as he gets healthy, he's going to have a role in this offense. They drafted him for that reason. So I do agree with you. If you do have room, go and grab him now because I believe he
should be back.
Available. He should be back week 10. I think is what I saw. Yeah. So, another good option. But yeah, Terrence Marshall is another one for me. For the Panthers, last 2 weeks, Robbie Anderson got traded, hasn't done much in Arizona, so maybe he sucks. But Terrence Marshall, they drafted him.
Terrible haircut.
What's that? Yeah,
terrible haircut. I hate his haircut.
I know. It bugs me.
I hate
it. But Marshall's running as the wide receiver 2 behind DJ Moore. He's playing over 90% of the snaps and pretty much running the same number of routes that DJ Moore is doing as well. The way that this team is going, I know it's not very good with PJ Walker behind there. Sam Darnold should be back, but doesn't really matter. This team plays from behind. They're going to be throwing the ball a ton every single game. So, with the fact that Marshall has posted, back-to-back double-digit fantasy point games, and even though the quarterback situation, you never know who it is. I think he's capable of, being startable in most leagues, especially during the bye week. So he's a guy that I'm kind of looking out for. I might still wait another week, but I'm just scared if I wait a week, that's a week he's going to blow up. So.
And he got all his yards, and we saw a good connection with
PJ Walker. Walker.
No, it wasn't with Walker.
Mayfield.
Mayfield. Sorry, Baker. Yeah. At the end of that game, because Baker came in at the end, and he was pumping Marshall, and and also they're going up against Atlanta's 32nd ranked pass defense next week. So I think we could see a lot of throwing from Mayfield, and he obviously likes Marshall from what we saw last week.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Go.
There's two guys that we talk about real quick, Josh Palmer and DeAndre Carter of the Chargers.
Yes.
Mike Williams out probably another, 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks.
Yes.
And Keenan Allen, I don't know. I know that's a tough spot for you to talk about. But obviously Joshua Palmer is, if he's available, you're going to go out and grab him. He had over 100 yards receiving last week. What was it? 10. He was targeted 10 times, 8 catches for 106. But are you even considering DeAndre Carter with the fact that even though Eckler's there, you got, Everett, you got Palmer. I mean, Carter didn't have the greatest game last week, but he still put up, 6 targets, 5 balls for 53 yards. I mean, playing over 80% of the snaps. Are you going to go out and get him? Are you going to, I guess, basically, are you going to go put out any money to go and get him to stash him, whether it is to play as a flex?
I would. They're up against San Fran this week in San Fran. That is a tough matchup. I could see it being a low-scoring game, and Eckler and I would say Palmer being the only serviceable fantasy options this week. But after it's they play the Chiefs in LA, so that could be a shootout game where you could see that Carter get more action if Allen continues to be out. But I don't think I would add Carter right now.
Yeah, been up in the air. Like I went and grabbed Palmer in a league, but that was a given.
Yeah.
But then I started to see, obviously Carter had a little bit of steam at the start of the year and just continue. I mean, he's still getting targeted. So I guess if you're desperate for a flex play, I guess there's no reason why you can't go and at him and play him if you want.
We're not seeing Herbert put up the numbers
he's hurt, man. He has to be hurt. He does not look good.
It has to have something to do with his 2 starting receivers being out too, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be part of it. And so these guys just maybe aren't as capable of providing Herbert with the offense that he wants to run right now.
Well, then target Eckler 25 times. Do it. Titans do.
Yeah.
Just run the ball. I read this.
Yeah. Well, you got Derrick Henry. He's a freaking train, man. Like,
yeah,
he's as big as linebackers.
I'm in a league with like all those Eat Sleep Fantasy guys, and actually it's with Dale and his buddy. Sorry, it's not even a lot of guys from Eat Sleep Fantasy. But anyways, I'm 8-1 in that league this week or this year, and if Henry goes down, I'm completely hooped.
Oh yeah.
But because I just started talking trash now because my team's pretty good for a 10-team league.
Oh, but now that you're talking trash, he's going down.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm 8-1. But
it's fine now. It's fine now.
It is what it is. I did what I needed to do. So, but all right. Well, okay, that was good. That was a nice quick episode, Habby. Should we get back on? Are you available to get back on and talk some starts and sits next week? Or our vouch slouch?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, for sure.
So let's do that, and hopefully let's get back on track here. Hopefully, but like I said,
we had our vacay, went to Mexico, got too drunk.
Oh God, guy, El Capitano. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. I'll wear my sweet dinner shirt next week.
Oh yeah, you still got my pants too.
Yeah, I got your pants too. Yeah, I had to borrow a pair of Habby's pants because I didn't bring any to Mexico.
Hopefully there's no fucking turds in there.
And I had luggage. No, I washed them for you, bud. Don't worry.
Oh, God, that's good. Thanks. Better be washed. They've been in Mexico for a week.
Exactly.
Right next to your bum.
Yeah. What a guy. But all right, buddy. Okay. Well, outside of that, guys, again, thanks again for sticking around. Appreciate everybody. And until next time, we'll talk soon.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace.